Because if I can scout out a second planet and maybe use this lander. Actually, no, what was the other... So, okay, so have we been to Kane yet? I don't think we've been to Kane. Or Saiyan, or whatever, however people pronounce it. Because apparently people pronounce it different ways. But the other... We can go to Dridal, which is the one I think that Mindo might orbit, which is why I want to go there. Or we can go to Kane, Saiyan, or whatever. I'll just fiddle around with maneuvers for a while until I get something. Okay, I'm focusing on Dridal so I can more accurately refine the maneuver. Although it will maybe spoil it for me. I don't think so. Okay, there's at least one moon. And I'm going to try and get into the plane of it. It's loading in the textures, so I can't zoom in further than this. It's frozen the game because it's loading in the textures. These must be some pretty intense textures. Okay, Dridal and Awoy. Okay, so this is not the place with Mindo. So, alright, so I can be a little bit free on my spoilers. Oh, I have an encounter down there. Mindo. Oh, it is the place with Mindo. Okay, what? I'm not looking at the planet itself. Okay, it's just in a low orbit. Hopefully going prograde, because otherwise I have no idea how to get there. And how much will it take? Whoa, it has very intense gravity then, if it can like gravity assist me into orbit like that. So I'm going to set up a Mindo gravity assist to get me into orbit around this place, and then hopefully I'll have enough fuel to do things while I'm there. Anyway. So maybe it's just like Uber Tylo? I don't know. Anyway, so I am in favor of conducting this mission. And at the very least, we'll just fly by it and like see it, because then we'll have enough fuel to get home. I'm not sure if there'll be a good place to like plop Bill down and rescue him later. We'll see. Oh, okay. I forgot how like awful this craft is at accelerating. So we are going to have to do like a really long burn and like multiple periaptus kicks. So all that maneuver planning I did was for nothing. Right, I keep forgetting that I have both Better Time Warp installed and the Kerbal Interstellar Cool Warp. So I can literally just time warp super fast through these burns. And now that the direction's identical, I'll stop warp, and I'll wait until I'm on the straight part, and then I'll just accelerate forward until my apoaptus is about up there. And here we go! Goodbye, windswept. Interesting place, because like, it makes you think that you can rely on the atmosphere, but you can't. And that really tricked me, and if I was like actually doing my no reverse thing, it would have taken me several tries to, you know, do the thing. And engine cut off. So let's see how far away we are from the encounter we planned out. Once we stop burning fuel, of course. 2, 1. That's like my least favorite part about the Interstellar. I get why they did it, because it's realistic to have nuclear engines take a while to shut down, but it takes too long for a gameplay perspective, because like it's annoying to have to do it. Okay, so we still get the encounter. Not as great as we could have. That's too far as of zoom in. Alright, so I still can't see much other than it's a round sphere. So I think this is an acceptable level of zoom to be practicing, to be maneuvering around in. And that is a 6.6-ish is a good thing. I'm going to set Mindo as my target because I think I might be able to use it to gravity assist myself into orbit. That is not a very productive gravity assist angle. So can I gravity assist onto the other side of it? Oh, that is... I accidentally looked at the planet. I can see what color it is, but not much else. Hold on. Why am I even doing like a gravity assist planning right now? Let me test first. How much fuel would it take to just do a direct capture? Not worrying about like Mindo at all. Except for being relatively close to its orbit. Like, how much would it take me to capture? That is a lot of delta V to capture. 1 kilometer per second is not the end of the world, actually, so I might end up doing that. You, Dridal, do you have an atmosphere? Stretchy. Gas. Okay, it's a gas giant. God, I usually get closer before looking at this. 200,000 meters. So, alright. Oh, I'm stupid. I accidentally deleted the wrong maneuver. So, let's do that again. Okay, good news, bad news. Good news. Encounter... good. Bad news. Whatchamacallits? It may not be 4.5 kilometers per second to get into a low enough orbit around that place to actually get there. So yeah, let's do the course correction before thinking too much about this, and then hopefully we can gravity assist off of Mindo once we're in an elliptical orbit, and we can like get more optimal like transfers and assists and whatnot. I still don't know anything about Mindo. I don't know why it's so scary. I know that it's big. That's the only thing I know. Like, I don't even know that. I'm guessing that. I'm guessing it's a big Tylo just from the name and like how it's throwing the gravity around. But I have no clue. If I'm going to go direct there, I'll probably want fusion engines, or just like get good with ions. Thing is, Bill's an engineer, so I can get a little bit extra delta V by just ditching things we don't need anymore. And so it doesn't alter our trajectory too much. I am not going to do that until we like get next to this place. Focus on whatchamacallit? Dreidel. No, Diardel. I've been pronouncing it wrong this entire time. I'm sorry. I see a word and it's like, oh, that looks like a word I know. I looked at the planet and I looked at both of them. They look really cool, but that does not change the fact that I accidentally looked at the planet too early. So let's get a reasonable periapsis here. Pretty well aligned. Alright, now just a bunch of time warping to go. And the thing is, we can also use the lander as a second stage if we need to. Like, if we don't have enough fuel in the main thing, we can just take that and abandon it and then undock the lander. Granted, Bill will be stuck in the lander in a one-seat thing for however many years it takes me to actually get to Mindo. Or we could go for the Award, that other moon, in a very elliptical orbit. I don't know, but stuff in weird elliptical orbits are usually very small. So hopefully that pattern holds, and maybe we'll be able to land on it, but maybe not. This place's sphere of influence is huge. How did I like not accidentally run into this earlier doing well, I haven't really gone out this far very much. Also, like part of the reason it's taking so much to capture is because I'm going on a very wonky transfer. Like I'm not coming in very tangent to the body, so I'm wasting a ton of fuel. So step one is to capture and do an elliptical orbit, and then we'll plot our options from there. And no, that's a gas cloud. Where is the planet? There's the planet. Diardel. And it definitely is being lopsided, or at least kind of looks like it's swirling. It's being stretched. So it's probably tidally locked with Mindo. Mindo is like awfully close to Diardel. It is Diardel, right? I'm just not. Diredul. I'm sorry for butchering the pronunciation that badly. Like, that's just... There's no excuse for that. Oh, man. I should probably do science here, too. And then I will ditch what I don't need. So I have 3.511 kilometers per second right now. Let me write that down. Let's see how much I can get by, like, chucking random things off the side. Okay, that's a decent amount of junk we don't need anymore. And I can take stuff off of lander 2 as well, but I don't really want to right now. So let's see. What does this give us? 3.619. So, like, I got another 100 meters per second delta V. That's not a lot, but it's an acceptable amount. I also kept some RCS fuel and RCS thrusters for making small corrections later on, because gravity's just kind of annoying if you don't do that. How much is it going to take us just to barely capture? That's going to be like... Well, I want time, so like About 900 meters per second. Let's go like even low. Let's go like 800. Do just do an 800. And that'll be fine. Yeah, let's go. And that'll be a 5-minute maneuver, so we should start 2.5 minutes beforehand. It should be fine. Hold on. Which way is Diardal orbiting? Okay, we're orbiting the same direction. It just looked like we weren't for a second there, because it's moving the wrong way, but that's just because it's far away and not small, or whatever that is. I don't know. Like, yeah, I just need to think through things, be logical, you know, smart stuff. Weird. Mindo is an elliptical orbit around. Maybe elliptical? I can't tell if it's elliptical. I'll have to look up its orbital. Or maybe it's just the planet's egg-shapedness that's throwing me off. Yep, that's definitely not a sphere. Am I going to crash into it? um... 15 atmosphere, 200,000 meters, and my periapsis is inside the... okay, that is quite egg. New plan. Burn all the fuel radial out so we don't fall into the planet prematurely. Because that is significantly more egg than I had anticipated. Yeah, Bill, you're gonna die. Unless... oh. Okay. I can live with that. Let's just burn retrograde. Nothing to see here, folks. It's just egg. So, this is what's inside of an egg. I never knew that. I thought, like, it'd be a bunch of gooey things, like, that make the chicken, eventually. But, I mean, high-efficiency Oberth maneuvers, like, you can't get more Oberth effect than literally flying inside of the planet you're trying to Oberth around. So, Bill, you may have luck starting a mining company. That is a really cool-looking Mindo there. Let's see. I'll have to, like, more effectively see what exactly it does, like what exactly it, like, why is that why it's so difficult that, like, the top rated comment is for me to land on there and return from it, because it doesn't look that difficult. It just looks like a big, like, now that I can see that it has the oceans and atmosphere, it just looks like a super Eve, and I've done a super Eve, unless this is a super duper Eve. I've done 2 super Eves now. I eat super Eves for breakfast. Now, if I do it with stock parts, which actually might have been part of the comment now that I think about it, then we're talking a challenge. But, like, let's just... so that's our lowest point here. So we're probably not going to get in space low again. So I'm going to... is there an action group for science? Yes, there is. Nice. Let's go. Let's actually just transmit all of this, because we're not going to be back for a good long time. And actually, I'm going to, now that I think about it, I'm transmitting all of that science from whatchamacallit, from the other place we was windswept, because there's, like, no way I'm getting, oh, now, we're outside the egg now. I need to change this to, allow partial, hold on. Okay, so now we're going to fly fairly close to Mindo, so we can spy on it and see what exactly is in store for us. It kind of looks like Australia. I don't know why I said that, but it does kind of look like Australia. Yep, that is very egg. That is, like, significantly more egg than I imagined a planet could be. Okay, so I have a trajectory, and I have bad news. I looked at the thing to see how high its atmosphere was. And in the process, I found out that Mindo is actually not going to be the easiest thing to do. It is a super Tylo, effectively, with a little bit of atmosphere, just enough to make it annoying. So, like, honestly, I would prefer super Tylo over super Tylo with this tiny atmosphere. Because now I have to plan around an atmosphere, which is going to require entry at like 9 kilometers per second or however fast it is. But we'll figure that out exactly when we get there. So yes, this is going to be a pain. However, we may be able to use nuclear jets, but it might be stock parts. I'll have to check the comment. We'll see. Because if this is a stock parts challenge, it's not going to be pretty. So that first maneuver, set up a gravity assist. And that gravity assist will take us... hold on. I need to get outside the atmosphere. That gravity assist will take us very close to... Wait, that's odd. Huh. Figure that out when to get there? Like, it can't be that expensive to change the delta V's from there. So anyway, we're going to gravity assist off of Mindo. That's going to slow us down enough to get like a reasonable encounter with Mindo, so we can capture using a minimum amount of delta V. And by minimum, I still mean a lot, but enough that we'll have it. I hope. Here we go. Into the egg. Okay, so now that I kind of know how this is structured, I can see where my next encounter is going to be, and correct accordingly. 6 hours, 11 hours. Okay, fantastic. That is an intense maneuver to get going around the right direction. That's a 1 kilometer per second maneuver to get around the correct direction. So I may just have to come in retrograde, which will really screw me over in the future. That's about as low as we can go, and that's a 600 meter per second maneuver. How does this change if we do RCS burst forward and backward? Okay, we have to go RCS forward. Wait, is that decreasing? That's decreasing our periapsis. That's not an option. Shoot. This is not a good situation. Faced with these options, I could just capture here, and then we have 825 meters per second burn there, and then we may be able to air brake the rest, but that's a really harsh atmosphere to have to air brake in. Maybe. That is a 2 kilometer per second capture, but let's be honest, this part of the mission was always going to be one way anyway. So, Bill, you ready? Let's go. So let's, no gravity assist, just direct capture at Mindo. Oh boy. On the plus side though, one thing you do have to look forward to, the ship that's going to get you out of here is going to be really, really, really high tech. Okay, here we go. Countering Mindo and now. Alright. So we do have to be very conscious of how we retroburn this, because we're not getting a second chance. The overwidth losses are going to be immense. We're already going 4 kilometers per second at SOI entry. I'm scared of this place. Biome volcanoes. Okay. That's not alarming at all. Start burn in 5 minutes. Our periaptus is in 11 minutes. Okay, no, this is going to be done in multiple periaptus kicks. I'm not doing this in one go, because that's an insane burn to have to do. So I'm going to do a burn that will barely get me in the sphere of influence. And that's a much more reasonable burn time. So I can actually do this near the periapsis. Start burn 6. Because, like, I am still... My maneuver is radial out right now. I can't do that. That's nowhere near retrograde. I'd lose so much through, like, losses there. 4, 3. And we're going to do the capture on the dark side, so we don't get, like, the cool look-arounds. Okay, well, at least we can do some... how much electric charge do we have? We don't even have comms connection anyway, so I'll do low science later. We're going to get a cool sunrise during the burn, though, it looks like. I don't even know where the planet is. Start burn. Let's go now. Here we go. Capture around Mindo. Periaptus. Oh, I see the planet. Due to the loading into the secondary model for being this close. Okay. Let's just go straight retrograde now. We may accidentally touch the atmosphere because that's at 25, and our periaptus is at 25 too. Oh, no, we're gonna be fine. And there's the sunrise. We are going 9 kilometers per second relative to the surface. Oh, and we're gonna capture right now. that's convenient. I'll just continue retroburning then for a while, because we're at the over sweet spot. Okay, now we can talk to things, so let's do the science now. This is going to be brutal to land on. Like, we're going so fast here. How am I supposed to do this? Okay, first of all, I'm going to check that comment right now. Did it specify I had to do it with stock parts? I'm going to check that right now. Okay, if you lose, you must land and return from Mindo in WWPJ. Sandbox mode allowed. Okay, I don't know. Oh man, that's big. Big egg. Yeah, I'll ask him. And I'm going to assume he means stock parts, though. Those are definitely volcanoes. Let's see. So, Mindo. It's Australia. It's Space Australia. We've got waterways, or at least canals. I'm not sure if they're water. Let's see. It may not... Okay, I'm going to read the descriptions out loud for these places. Diardal. Diardal truly is one of the stretchiest objects in the solar system. It is thought that its friend Mindo is the one pulling the strings, or rather the gas. Diardal does not have a tangible surface, namely it's gaseous all the way down to the core from caps lock. Mindo. It might not have occurred to you, the reader, yet, but Mindo is quite a large boy. Yes, indeed. Despite its impressive distance from Sol, Mindo appears to have oceans. Sending a boat here would be hard, as a supposed mast would need to be very powerful for it not to snap like a twig under the intense gravity. Now, let's look at the stats here. We've got an equatorial radius of 1,430 kilometers. Well, what's the moon's radius? The moon's equatorial radius is 1,737 kilometers-ish. So this is a decent chunk of the size of our actual moon, except with, like, the Kerbal gravity. Ancestral gravity, 3.1265 G. Sphere of influence, pretty big. Atmosphere, yes, but it's only 0.3 atmospheres. So, and I have to travel through it going at, well, let's see. Let's get to a lower orbit first, because I don't want to. I'm orbiting the wrong way. I am orbiting significantly the wrong way. So yes, I do want to leave, because if I stay here, oh no. If I stay here, the mission that like, yeah, definitely not gonna stay here. I'm gonna leave. This will probably be the end of this episode, like after I figure out how much Delta V I'm going to need. But the surface rotation speed of this planet should help me when I'm not going in the wrong direction. So there's at least a glimmer of hope here. I am very close to egg. Where'd the egg go? There. Egg. Oh, it's just ridiculous, the scale of this thing. Okay, let's see. How fast am I going? Orbital velocity here. And what's... First of all, the maneuver need to slow down. Cannot have maneuver control locked. Fantastic. So I have to record those two values separately. Sorry, velocity at periaps. There we are. There's the planet. It's going to be 8785. And that's surface velocity. Orbit is 7744. So, now what's our delta V needed to slow down into a circular orbit around Mindo? Now that I can actually add maneuver nodes. Close enough. 1182-ish centimeters per second. Okay, so doing some math, everyone's favorite subject. We got orbital velocity is 77. No, I want surface. Hold on. So the difference between orbital and surface velocity, how fast the surface is moving, is 8785 minus 7744. The surface is rotating at about a kilometer per second, and right now that is working against us. However, that will eventually work for us in the long run when we turn around. So our orbital velocity 7744 minus 1182 is what it'll take to get into a low circular orbit. Means our orbital velocity will be 6562. Subtract our surface velocity from that, which we found to be 1041, and we have to orbit at a velocity of 5521 meters per second, which at 3 Gs. And enter an atmosphere going at 5.5 kilometers per second. That wouldn't be so bad, but the thing is, we also have to get something here. And getting it here is no short order. If I do this with like stock part, okay. So first of all, I do plan on doing this like as a part of Planet Jam. Regardless, I may have to work up to it because I'll need a bunch of interstellar parts to do with it. Now, but if I need to do the stock parts, that gives me a really big incentive to not fail hardcore. I'm gonna do some testing with various craft. I'll probably hyper-edit them in or something like that just to see if this is reasonable at all. And hopefully in the next episode we'll get Bill out to a boy and possibly maybe home. I don't know. Because I don't want to leave him here, especially in this retrograde orbit, because that'd be a real pain to rescue him. He's not even going the right way around to like be able to land on this thing. And I do not believe that his heat shield can withstand... Did I even include a heat shield? Is there an ablator resource on here? Yeah, there's no way he's withstanding that atmospheric entry. So we'll have to come up with something spicy in order to conquer Mindo. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Ultimisty out.